So in the last video we had a lot of fun inserting movie references to portray your Scrum team members in a better light, and since we still didn't get sued, we might do it again. Today's video is all about the product backlog and all the things that you shouldn't be doing. Yes, the product backlog is product owner's responsibility. There are no two ways around it. However, this does not mean that the product backlog should be hidden away somewhere in product owner's basement, only to be allowed outside at sprint planning and only to be looked at. This is actually something that happens quite often with the product backlog. It becomes this hostage to the product owner, and it only gets refined and updated as product owner seems fit, without even considering consulting the rest of the Scrum team. And there are far too many reasons for this, and we really can't go into it now. What we should get into, however, is the fact that the product backlog hijacking is one of the most dangerous behaviors a product owner can do, as it can result in pretty much every bad outcome you can think of. From creating mistrusting for agile teams to increments and entire products that hold no value to anyone. The product backlog belongs to everyone, and everyone in the Scrum team should have a say in how it evolves and grows over time. The product owner will have a final say in it, but everyone's voice must be heard.
Take a look at this.
Jesus Christ,
That
Charlie.
right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
Another common product backlog mistake is turning it into a ginormous to-do list with super granulated items that extend over dozens sprints into the future. This most commonly occurs when the product owner is particularly controlling. However, it can also happen when the product owner simply believes that this is the best way to move forward. And it isn't. There's no need for the product backlog to be too elaborate and explain work that will happen a few increments down the road. This is a wasteful practice, as it simply cannot accommodate new information that will reveal itself as the product is developed. The product backlog should be detailed enough so that the development team can decide what, how, and how much they can do in the next sprint during the sprint planning meeting. The rest of it should only be detailed enough so that the Scrum team and other stakeholders can understand the direction in which the development of the product will move in the future.
Oh, I was quite sure it was just one from the size of the car.
So user stories are great for a number of reasons. They help move from the requirement solution mindset and explain the purpose of the work in terms of what the end user will get from it. They also add a layer of a bigger picture to your day-to-day tasks and encourage discussion. Unfortunately, and you knew there was an unfortunately lurking here, some Scrum teams take the idea of user stories to extreme and use them to describe absolutely, totally, completely everything. They were either taught to do so by an inflexible authority, or they think they need to make every single product backlog item, no matter how tiny it is, completely transparent to every single stakeholder. In reality, however, there will be some work that will be purely technical or will become less clear when formed as a user story. Moreover, such work will be of no particular interest to stakeholders anyway. In such situations, insisting on user stories will, in the worst case scenario, make the description of your work completely incomprehensible, and in the best case scenario, come across as unnecessary glib. Depending on the product being built, the product backlog will have a lifespan of a varying duration. Those that live to see more than a few iterations tend to get a bit messy, despite the team doing their best to refine it here and there. In many cases, the team and the product owner contribute to this by refusing to delete anything from the product backlog. Sometimes it's because they really feel that they will get to a certain functionality or idea sometime later. And sometimes it's because they have a really strong feeling that they've read somewhere at some point that you should never delete anything from your product backlog. But there's actually no real reason why you wouldn't want to do some spring cleaning on your product backlog from time to time. If, let's say, you learn something new about your product and That new information contradicts the previously placed item, which in no shape or form contributes to your new goal. Why would you keep it there? There's absolutely no reason for it. Let it go. Just let it go. And now here's some final thoughts. As you're watching this video, you're probably thinking to yourself, I already know this. This information is not new to me. And you're probably right. However, it is something that you should still discuss with your team at one point or another to make sure that you're all on the same page. So, with that being said, it's time to end this video. There are plenty more articles on Product Backlog and all things Agile and Scrum on our website, where you can also sign up for our free project management tool, VivifyScrum, and have a good day. I should totally come up with some catchphrase like stay agile or something. Stay agile. Go agility! Maximum agility!